Well, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Hey, what about this for a go? This is Biggles' big brother. Yeah, Marvellous. Look at this, round clock. Not a round clock, square clock, but a round clock. Amazing, marvellous, absolutely splendiferous. Everything looks pretty similar to Biggles, but it's not. Let's have that up for a start. There, look at that, marvellous. Let's get going. Stay home from home. Instead of being the Rally Pro, this is the GT. This is the touring baby. So really, it's not his big brother, it's his big cousin. Oh, yeah, a lot more power in this. Let's get that down. And in 4K, I'm recording in 4K to see what it's like. Amazing. All the usual gubbins. Cruise control. Doesn't have heated seats like Biggles. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. It's, in theory, engine's a lot bigger, a lot punchier. Handle's just the same, sweet as a nut, just turns in. I didn't go for the 1200 when I got the 900 because I was worried about the size of it and the weight of it, having had the Tigger, the 1050, because that was a big heavy lump. This is really smooth, really nice. Know nothing about it, so I'm going to do a second ride on it, so I get first and second impressions, and yeah, we'll see what it's like. A real motorway cruncher, you know. I mean, this is marvellous. I love the round clock. I'm so pleased it's got a round clock. That's just Jim Dandy. Yeah, Tiger 1200, competitor for, I don't know, the GS, quick shifter course. Just marvellous. Getting a little bit of buffeting, not a lot. It just feels marvellous to be on it, really. It's full of petrol as well, look at that, marvellous. So I'll do the Boatyard Road tomorrow, I think, maybe, yeah, something like that. And then we'll see what it's like as a daily use, you know, going to work, going getting a loaf of bread, stuff like that. See how that works. This little baby's not done very many miles, so it's not running, so we'll treat it with the respect that we're told to, which is sort of 4,000 revs really. So on here it's all face the day, very nice, not much buffeting, getting a little bit just round, just underneath my chin a little bit. I think that's actually been caused by the mirrors, to be honest. Yeah, but that's about it. It's so stable, but it's what I expected, you know. Yeah, a bit like the Speed Triple. Very similar electronics, all the suspension, everything. At the moment, unlike the triple, haven't dialed this down. Everything's just in comfort, down the middle, because it's pretty comfortable as it is. So we've just had a blast down the A14. It's like a rock. I mean, today is really windy, especially over the Orwell Bridge. It just didn't move an inch, didn't move a muscle. It's marvellous. It's a bit more of a lump to get going than Biggles, but I've got to stop comparing it to Biggles. I've got to just ride it and see how it feels, and so far I've been having a blast on it. It's been very good fun. It's very responsive because everything's so similar to Biggles. It's hard not to compare. I mean, it is the same, except it's slightly bigger. Engines, you know, obviously substantially bigger. The throttle on it is it's not quite as smooth as Biggles, but it's got a lot more power to give, and it's running in. It's whilst it's a bit a bigger relative of Biggles. I got to remember, Biggles has done a sort of 800 miles now, and so we can, you know, use that throttle a bit more. This I'm trying to feather a little bit, just be gentle with it, so it's a little bit difficult there to do that, but it's balanced. You can hold it with the lightest of touches. It's, you know, considering its size, it's a 1200 touring bike, really. Well, nothing, no doubt about it. It is. And yet, you can, you know, the lightest touch, and it's just there. Yes, it's got quick shifter up and down, same as Biggles. Keep forgetting about that. I've got used to it on Biggles now. Never thought I'd use it. You know, habit gets you into using your clutch. But yeah, this doesn't, it's got heated grips, so we'll have some of that, see how they work. Doesn't have a heated seat. Said that already, didn't I, right at the beginning? Said that. Doesn't have a heated seat. Biggles has a heated seat. And whilst I said originally I'd never used it anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really. It doesn't. But I tell you what, it is nice on those days where you've got a bit of sun but it's cold. It's absolutely splendiferous. I love it. I use it quite frequently now. So yeah, a bit crazy, isn't it? Does it feel cumbersome? No, it doesn't. Like I say, it's light as a feather when you're moving along. It's quite tall, so if you're a little shorty, don't know what you do there. Oh, the seats are its highest. I remember, yeah, he did say it's its highest. It's not quite as high as Biggles, because Biggles is the rally, and I think the rally, as opposed to the touring, has a higher seat. The engine definitely sounds more throaty, and yeah, you can tell it's 300 cc's more, put it that way, but it's nice to have. It doesn't, I don't think the difference is important, to be honest. They're both splendiferous motorcycles. Now you're gonna say, when I do the sensors, you're gonna say, you're just copying what you said with Biggles. I don't know. Let's think about this. So, taste, you know I'm not going to taste it. It's an easy one. Sound. I like the sound of Biggles. This sounds like Biggles, but just a little bit more angry. Yeah, it's Biggles on a bad day. Yeah, you won't want to cross it. So the sound is bloody marvellous. Yeah, it's out there, and with a pipe on it, it would sound amazing. I suspect they do one for it as well, and then it would be splendiferous. So that's the sound, taste. To look at, splendiferous. I like it. You know, it's an adventure bike. As far as adventure bikes go and touring bikes, it's a handsome beast. It is. You'll just have to trust me on that. If you're into sports bikes or you're into retros, you've got to get your head out of that and think adventure bikes. And I think it's positive. Well, I wouldn't have bought Biggles if I thought it was ugly, would I? So I'm bound to say it. I've got to say it. Yeah, splendiferous. So feel to touch. Yeah, it's good, solid quality. You know, everything about it. It's Triumph, and it's a lot of money. So yeah, it's good. I mean, the clock, I mean, look at that, it's round. It's not round, but it's round. Yeah, you have to struggle to get your head around that. But yeah, so on the senses, feel, touch, it's all nice, solid, shaped, sculpted, very sculpted, and solid and quality. Different textures, shiny, little gritty. Yeah, it is lovely to touch. So then we get on to the sixth sense. Yeah, how does it make you feel? Makes me feel bloody marvellous. That's how it makes me feel. Bloody marvellous. King of the road, you know. Yes, we're running this little baby in, but it's still king of the road. You're big, you're present, you're solid. Yeah, makes you feel like king of the road. Bloody marvellous. Contentment, yeah, it's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? This is to do a job, like Biggles is to do a job. That job's to get you from one place to another, warm, safe, preferably with a smile on your face. And these campers, Biggles puts a smile on my face very often. They make me feel good. This makes me feel good. Yeah, like wearing a nice suit when you go out, you know, when you've got a nice suit. I don't mean just a Marks and Spencer suit, I mean a really good suit. When you've got a really nice suit on, you feel good. That's how I feel with this. This is how it makes me feel. Would he have one? Of course I'd have one. I've got one. I've got a 900 one. Would I have a 1200 one? That's the question. That's what I've got to find out over the next days. You know, I'm not going to reveal anything now. I need to get used to it, adapt to it more, try and figure out the nuances. What's different about it? What's different about this one compared to the 900? Apart from the big engine and the bigger top speed and the more torque and all that business. I'm not on about that, because quite frankly they're irrelevant. I'm running Biggles in, and at running in he can do 100 miles an hour. I mean, that's ludicrous, isn't it? Yeah, run that bike in, be careful, you won't thrash it, will you? No, of course I won't bloody thrash it. It's it's ridiculous. Yeah, so now what I've got to do, I've got to rearrange all the bikes when I get home to fit this in, because with Biggles and this side by side, going to take up quite a bit of space. Yeah, so Marvellous. Heated grips are working just splendiferous today. So I think all these heated things that they put on bikes nowadays, they work when it's not that cold, if you know what I mean. So like today, it's a cold day today. You can see it's overcast, it's windy, and it's chilly. Just chilly, but it's not freezing. And these grips are marvellous. Yeah, they're heated in these sort of conditions. It works well. It does. I've got to change my opinion there. They do. I've never really used them. I think the hand guards, you know, keep the wind off, and it's the wind that makes you cold. Well, it's the temperature that makes you cold, but the wind makes it colder. And if your hands are out of the wind, they don't get as cold. So yeah, so my palms and the insides of my hands are really nice and warm, and that's pleasing, isn't it, on what should be a summer's day. Yeah, so splendiferous all round so far. Splendiferous. First impressions. Yeah, that's what it's about. It's made a good impression. This was my daughter's boyfriend, came round to see us and said hello, I'd like to take your daughter out. I'd allow him to take it out if it was like this. Yeah. So I've just brought you back online because this little car in front, it's absolutely marvellous. Look, it's got tyres that are narrower than Bertie's, and in fact this car is exactly what Bertie would drive. Marvellous. I want to overtake it just to have a look at it. That's what I want to do. Marvellous. Look at that. Splendiferous. Yeah, so there you go. That's what car Bertie would drive, because he doesn't care. He simply doesn't care. Yeah, so I wanted to show you that. And here it is. Look at this. I bet you wondered what it's going to be. Look at that. It's crown. Marvellous. Yeah, excellent. I think that's Bertie's crown. Not sure. Yeah. So there you go. Absolutely splendiferous.